Welcome back everyone to JJ Central's DIY channel. Today we have a new addition to the stable, a 2010 Mercedes-Benz E350 4MATIC with w212. So this is a wonderful car, a daily driver forever, will run for 200,000 miles, but it's got some problems here along the way. So that is why we are here to fix it and show you how to fix it. Got some codes and we will read that and start fixing one by one, so this can be the daily driver for the next couple of years. So welcome again and let's get started. And here we have one code on the electronics module, ESP module, and let's see what that is. I already know what it is. It's got to be the battery. And let's see, the car already told us. And there it is. The buffer battery has malfunction 627400. So that's the same code. We know this. The car puts it on this display clearly saying that the battery needs to be replaced, and we will do that. When you start your car first thing in the morning, you get a message here saying secondary battery malfunction, and you're wondering, oh no, the battery died or something. But that is not what it is. So this car has two batteries. This is a Mercedes E350 2010 w212 4MATIC. Now, this car has two batteries, one for normal purposes to start the car and drive all the electronics. That is up front on that side, in fact. There's a secondary battery right here on the dash, and that is to maintain this clock, the stereo, and a few other lighting and all that. So that is a very small battery, and now and then that can go bad, and that's what we're going to change today. Let's see how we can do that. So in this car, it is located on the driver's side behind the dash. We had to take this panel apart, and it's behind here. However, in some other cars, you may actually see that in the trunk, or sometimes underneath there, over there as well, under that dash up there. So mostly here, if not trunk or there. In order to access the battery, we have to take this part. Don't need tools, just go down and somehow pry this side first and then turn. Don't pull this way out. So let's try that. Try to. Just has 3 clips. Pull this side and then you squeeze it that way. As you can see, these hooks can easily break. These are plastic, top and bottom hooks. They go in here and here, so if you pull straight, it'll break. So you just pull this side first and then slide it out. All right, so now that's out. We need to take this 10mm bolt off, and this bracket is where the battery is attached. It'll come off and then we can deal with that. All right, this is a 10mm bolt, comes off easy. And this particular battery code is 627011, I believe, the Mercedes code. And now that I've taken the 10mm bolt off, this bracket frees up. And there's the battery. You can kind of see it flopping around. So it's a little bit of challenge to get this battery out of here. I need both hands to do that. The way you do that is it's clamped within a bracket, so you basically release the bracket first, and then there's a positive and negative terminal that we need to detach, just all pushing out. But definitely I need both hands. As you can see, there's a positive terminal, red one right there. I just need to pull that off and pull it out of the bracket and it'll come off. As you can see, I was able to wiggle the bracket out of the battery. The terminals are still on. Now let's work on that. It is a pain, but absolutely doable. All right, here are the terminals. There's a negative one. All right, let's wiggle it out. And it's red and brown wire. Remember, it's German car, so we don't see the black and red. It's brown for ground. There it comes off. All right, finally it's out. Now what's interesting is I was assuming it will be lithium-ion battery, but looks like it is a lead-acid battery. So it is a basic battery, just smaller in size. Let's see the replacement and measure some voltages. Here we have the new battery, and this is the old battery. It says original, but it kind of looks like duplicate. I'm not sure, but it does came in the Mercedes package. So I'm assuming it's OEM. Anyway, this is putting 12.8 volts. This is putting 12.7 volts. Not big of a difference, but what's happening is in the morning, first thing when you start the car, it's drained a little bit, probably producing 11 volts at that point. So the warning light is coming on for the old battery. I think the problem could have been one of those drains like the air pump we just replaced, but I don't know what it is, but this is old. So it's a good idea to change it. About $30-40 for the original one, $20 for the aftermarket ones. I'll put the link in the description. Let's put it in. So one thing to be careful with any battery is that when you put in the terminals, this is positive, it's negative. So after you hook that up, you don't want to be touching any metal surface here and shorting that out. So be careful when you insert it. Put the terminals here and then insert it. That way you don't short circuit accidentally. It's really short leads here, so press it tight without ripping off the wire, and it is in. I could hear the click, and battery is now secure. Now comes the hard part of putting the battery into the bracket that is in there, and I would absolutely need both my hands for this, and I'll try to capture as best as possible. The way it's supposed to sit in the bracket, if you see it, the terminals are facing the front of the car. Okay, as you can see here, let's see if I can focus this. So that is the position. The terminals are towards the front of the car, and the bolt will be lining up right here where my thumb is onto the fender or A-pillar of the car. Right here is the bolt that goes in. It's really hard. You can assemble it outside and put it back in, but I'm having a hard time pulling it out. The bracket is not coming out of the hole. So I ended up taking the bottom plate off so that I have access from underneath. So that makes it easier for me. If not, it'll take me forever. So let's put this back in. So just one 10mm bolt, and that's all there is to the battery. You don't have to over tighten it, snug tight, and be done with it. Now, since I took this bottom plate out, make sure none of the wires are pulled out or anything, and then we'll just slide it back in and put those 4 screws back in place. Okay, and tighten these screws. Second one, do not over tighten. Third screw and 4th. All right, that's it. The only thing left is to put this cover back on, and let's do that now. All right, first you put the hooks in the back, and then these clips will line up. You can see, and they just snap at that point. And then the 3 clips will line up. You'll hear nice clicks. All done. And that is how you change the auxiliary battery on W212 2010 to 2016 Mercedes E350. Similar for the S-Class as well. So such a job, supposed to take only 5 minutes, and I was having a really hard time taking it out, so I had to go from under. It took about 25 minutes for this. Still worth it. Fixed. One problem done, on to the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Follow me if you want to see more updates on this car and how we fix this to the point where it's like perfect and becomes a daily driver. All right, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.